There's another question here from Ryan. He says, can you please describe what the new conservative era and better explain what it looks like? And we actually have a video coming out, I think it's on Saturday, Steve, where you kind of lay out how things are changing and your perspective on all this, and like, why in the world would you talk about weight loss on a conservative podcast? Can you kind of outline, maybe give everybody here a little sneak peek into some of that and why you care about those kind of topics so much?
If you suffer from daily pain, I need you to listen to this message very carefully. As we age, aches and pains are normal, and we're all searching for effective ways to relieve pain. And in light of this opioid crisis, safety is more important than ever. And that's where groundbreaking medical scientist comes in, Clint Winters. Now, you've seen Clint on Fox. You've read about him in Forbes. He's a world-renowned health expert who's unveiled a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's called CB2, the 100% drug-free way to get full-body pain relief without dangerous meds. It's the go-to pain reliever for hundreds of professional athletes, tens of thousands of seniors, and the pain reliever of choice for the UFC. Gang, I got to tell you, I was skeptical about this, but it works. It's like all of my daily pain just faded away. My back, neck, joints all feel great and renewed. And the best news, CB2 has no documented side effects after years in private testing. It's absolutely the future of pain relief. Just ask the athletes in the UFC. It's their official pain reliever. So whatever you do, make sure to click on that link below and check out Clint's amazingly informative report on how CB2 is changing lives by providing safe and powerful relief at a fraction of the cost of pain pills. Click on that link below right now. Who just went public, Don Trump Jr. and Blake Masters. And if you haven't seen Public Square yet, type it in, join. It's amazing. I think they have, I can't even remember. It's like 80,000 Patriot businesses there, and you can avail yourself of Patriot businesses from afar via mail order, online, or there's a local tab that you can do. My wife just did it today. We filmed the interview. I told her about it, and she wants to redo. Our house is so old. Our house is like 40 years old. We haven't moved in 20 years. She wants to redo our bathroom. First thing she does, she goes on Public Square, looks up local contractors near us, finds a few of them. There's a lot of them, good working class MAGA folk there. And so we're going to hire a contractor from Public Square in order to put your business online. It's very similar to Red Balloon. .work. To put your business online there, you have to agree to five sort of key values that are just faith, family, freedom. It's awesome. So we're really trying to be at the forefront of the building, not so much even of a parallel economy, but really a parallel civilization. And that goes beyond just politics or even sociology, culture. I mean, that touches on health. And it's taking our health seriously. It's getting out of this weird big pharma world. And, and I had to admit, I was very reliant on the establishment medicine, establishment healthcare world. And then I saw what happened with COVID and how they got weaponized, and said, I don't want that to happen to me. And so I started to take, it took me a while. I had to find the right program to do it. And Dr. Ashley Lucas, a PhD weight loss, was perfect. She's a patriot. She's conservative. She's good friends with Sebastian Gorka. Mike Gallagher lost 50 pounds, if I recall. If you guys follow Mike Gallagher, she was behind his weight loss. So she's a total, wonderful Christian patriot woman, and just an amazing inspiration to get our health back as part of this wider parallel civilization that's rising up. So now, if that's one element of it. If you're talking about a new conservative age, you're even bigger picture, more cosmic. What we're talking about there is the world basically going back. The world is going back to pre-modern sentiments we have to understand the modern world basically turned it, and the modern world starts in the 18th century, but it basically turned its back on religion. And religion, classically speaking, was simply reality. Okay. Religion is simply the revelation of reality. Jordan Peterson has been masterful in demonstrating to even the most hardened atheists like Sam Harris that our minds, our cognitive structure, the way we envision the world by its nature is religious. Everyone has a sacred, something that's considered absolute, unquestionable, eternal, and the like. Even if it were science, right? The science is settled. That's a dogmatic statement, right? Everyone has a sacred. Everyone has a vision of the cosmos in relation to that sacred. Everyone has a view of society in relation to that sacred cosmos. Everyone has an ethical view, right? And the classical religions were simply the grandest revelations of reality imaginable, from the eternal all the way down to minute by minute life, from mountains to molehills, as it were. And all the great books, stories, music, architecture, they all reflect this religious vision in its various different civilizational forms. What's happened is that by turning away from the classical civilizational religions, but most particularly the Christian religion, the Western world, the modern Western world, has lost touch with reality. That's what's happened. The modern Western world has lost touch with reality. That's why it looks like we've gone so insane. It's because we have. And you can't predict that insanity. None of us could have ever predicted that our magazine covers would be celebrating men getting pregnant, 4 years ago. 4, right? It's happening so fast. Or Hollywood deliberately trying to silence movies about human trafficking, or promoting, self-mutilation among minors. So what we have to understand is that what the world is doing outside of the West, largely, so that's about 90% of the world's population. I think it's technically 85%. The West was 30% of the world's population at the beginning of the 20th century because of our adoption of secularism and secular lifestyle values and alternative lifestyles. We are demographically imploding in the United States, Canada, and Europe. And so now we are imploding to no more than about 14% of the world's population, soon to be 10% by 2050. Sorry. By 2050, only 10%. About 90% of the world's population is saying, we don't want your wacky, woke Western values anymore, which were being imported on them via globalism. And so now everyone outside of the West, everyone is going back to their religions. They're going back to their civilizational foundations. They're going back to nation, culture, custom, tradition. And so that's giving birth to what scholars call a multipolar world with multiple political powers, no longer a single unipower via the United States that got to superimpose upon the entire world a single liberal world order, a globalist world order. So that's why Soros is not a threat anymore around the world. He's being banned by more and more countries. Davos is not a threat anymore around the world. They're being banned by more and more countries. It's all closing in now here in the West. And now the West is rebelling. Now we're seeing a massive populist revolt of people who want to go back to the same faith, family, and freedom. That's our tradition. That's our particular Western tradition, the Christian tradition of our conservatism, of going back to nation, culture, custom, and tradition. We want to go back to faith, family, and freedom. We want to go back to national sovereignty. We want to go back to a politics that actually represents us rather than rules us. And we want to go back to our religious traditions that provided the meaning and the unity for polyethnic societies to be able to find a common purpose and a common goal. So even the West, even the place that was the centerpiece of the old liberal globalist modernist order, even the West now is cracking up. The rest of the world is well on their way. Now we're cracking up so that Davos and Brussels and the dolts in DC are panicking seeing their power erode. And so that's why they've now turned to imprisoning us. So but it's not going to, it's again, as Sam Huntington of Harvard said, just like what we saw what happened with the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, it's collapsing. There's nothing they can do about it because the very modernist foundations have cracked. The modernist foundation is the belief that there's a one size fits all political and economic system rooted in science and reason and rationality and secularism. That's dead. It's dead in the hearts and minds of most people. And it only remains alive among our political aristocratic elite who through refeudalization are trying to superimpose their power structure and their radical fundamentalist ideologies down our throats. But just like in the original feudal system in the Middle Ages, there was a Protestant Reformation, a Protestant backlash, which was a populist backlash that changed the world forever. So that's where that's big cosmic picture. So there you get a picture of sort of the economic side of things, the parallel economy, and now you're getting also a sense of the parallel civilization, the parallel world that's rising, that's soon becoming the dominant one.